Every sport has a beginning. The beginning of skiing can date back long before any of us were alive, and even before some of recorded history. In fact, one of the earliest examples of skiing dates back to rock carvings in 3000 BCE in Scandinavia. There are depictions in Norse mythology that describe the god Url and the goddess Saki hunting on skis. Necessity is the mother of all invention, and skiing is no different. Originally, skiing was not a recreational activity, but people used it out of necessity to get from one place to another in snowy conditions. Aside from hunting, skiing was also present in some major European wars, as recently as 1918 in World War I. Some of the earliest known instances of skiing as a recreational activity date back to the 1670s, where the Norwegian military would pass the time with ski jumping and racing competitions. It wasn't until 1864 when Johann Bartwitz, the owner of a small hotel in a Swiss summer town, made a decision that would put skiing on the path to be one of the most popular recreational activities in the world. Before skiing had much popularity at all, the hotels in the Swiss Alps would stay open for wealthy families to visit during the summer months to go on hiking trips, but would close during the harsh winters. Johann had the idea to keep his hotel open in the winter months in order to attract families to visit and spend their holidays skiing, which was a revolutionary concept. Johann's idea was successful, and soon other hotels followed suit. People began spending holidays in Chamonix, Sommeritz, and Kitzbühel, all over the Alps. But there were limitations on how far this could grow without the proper infrastructure, especially prior to the invention of the ski lift. In 1908, Robert Winterhalter was the owner of a European farm which hosted guests who came to take part in fun winter activities such as skiing and tobogganing. The biggest downside was that nobody wanted to walk up the hill too many times in order to come back down. Robert had the idea to use his existing watermill to pull guests up on a pulley system using hydropower so they could ski down without having to walk up the slope. Robert's invention paved the way for the first modern chairlift, engineered by James Curran for America's first ski resort, Sun Valley, Idaho. Curran's lift is similar to most lifts you see today at modern ski resorts, consisting of a pulley at either the top or bottom, with chairs spaced along a cable and supporting pillars along the route of the chairlift. This chairlift style allowed for the mass transportation of skiers from the bottom to the top of the mountain. The ability to transfer large numbers of skiers from the bottom to the top of the mountain is crucial for the sport's popularity and further development. Another driving factor in the growth of recreational skiing was competitions such as the Olympics and races held by the FIS. The first ski race took place in 1931 in Switzerland, run by the FIS. This race continued bringing eyes to the sport of skiing. Ski jumping was in the very first Winter Olympics in 1924, Chamonix, France. The first Olympic ski race took place in the 1936 Games with a combined alpine and slalom event, with 1948 being the first Games to have a different downhill and slalom event. The first ski pole doubled as a spear for hunting and was typically made of wood. For a time, bamboo poles were used, but after World War II, people began using steel poles. And then in 1954, aluminum poles became popular. From the 1990s to the present, carbon fiber poles are the most technologically advanced. The Scandinavian founders would hardly recognize a modern ski. Wooden skis were the standard until the 1950s when Howard Head introduced the Head Standard. Head skis were made out of fiberglass using a sandwich technique and had steel edges to bite into the ice on turns. The skis have a polyurethane base which can hold wax, resulting in less friction and higher speeds down the slopes. Bob Lang, the founder of Lang Skis, made the first plastic ski boot in the 1960s. These plastic boots provided much more stability and control than the previous leather boots. Both Lang and Head remain industry leaders to this day. The further development of equipment has allowed skiers to push what was previously known as the boundaries and develop new turns and techniques in skiing. In 1897, Matisse Zardowski published a book regarding the snowplow turn, a move for beginners that is still taught to this day. Sondre Norheim, known as one of the true fathers of modern skiing, was well known for the stem Christie turn. Now more commonly used is the parallel turn and the carving turn. Modern skis allow athletes to get up on edges and rip through the ice while maintaining speed through the turn. Although skiing has dramatically changed from the days where it was used as a necessity to get around through the snow, many of the basic principles remain the same. No educational ski video would be complete without talking about the modern ski industry and how the business works. With that said, I hope you will join us for our second video in this two-part series on the business of the ski industry. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.